This is me. My name is Norit Kirschenbaum. I grew up to be a geeky girl. I liked math and I liked fiction and fantasy books and detective books, and I liked heavy metal, which I think is pretty geeky, and I liked magic show. So when I grew up, it wasn't surprising that I went into engineering to study engineering, and I thought that I wanted to make machines. And later on, I kind of directed myself into making hardware, and later still I progressed into making software that is programming, and now I'm actually interested in making interactive experiences, which is anything you can imagine. A field that I'm really interested in working in is STEM education, because this is just something that is very interesting to me and I think is very important. But for some reason, some people don't really quite find this as interesting as I do. Don't know why. And as a designer, well, it's a challenge for us to make something that is not interesting. Now, I recently started to collect manga, and I think that it can teach us a lot of things. First of all, as far as visual storytelling is concerned, that's awesome. But there's something additional that is inspiring to me, and that is the range of topics that manga creators create about. This, for example, is Hikaru no Go, which is a manga about a boy learning to play and advancing in the world of competitive Go playing. And it's just not a topic you would normally expect a lot of people to be interested in, yet this manga was so successful in inspiring the young generation of Japanese boys and girls that they actually, a lot of them abandoned their video games in favor of playing Go, which is kind of a chess type strategy game. So it shows how you can make anything really, very interesting. And having interesting material is really a good start towards creating an experience that is memorable and surprising and challenging and still very natural. And those are all kind of those are ingredients of games and of fun. And I think fun is such a critical part of educational materials. I'm interested in children as users. Now, the boy on the left is my husband, and the boy on the right is one of my sons, actually. And they look very much alike, so we say, but they both lived in completely different worlds over the time. The reason is that just technology is such a race, and it constantly changes and improves, and it just goes so fast. And as designers, we're obligated to keep up with that, with what is new. But there's more than that, really. For example, this is one of my favorite quotes from a book called Gone with Occasional Music. It's a futuristic detective interviewing a lady, and there's a popular bit of memory technology, but she can't help but wonder why he's not using one. So he answers, I have a cranial implant instead. And it's just this amazing device that you just talk and you hear it in your head. And that quote is actually just reminds us that the absolute best technology there is our brain. And brains are amazing, and they are not constrained by any other technology that exists. We can actually imagine any kind of interaction with it. So, bringing it back to technology, we as designers need to remember not to impose whatever is the newest and best technology on our users. In fact, we should take what the users want and invent technology that is based on that. Well, if it needs to be invented. So that's how technology is actually improving. And as designers, I think we also need to wear a virtual magician's hat. First of all, because magic is cool, but also good magic is not very different from designing experiences or even a single web page, because you have to control your audience's attention. And both magicians and experienced designers have kind of a bag of tricks that they need to use. On one hand, you have misdirections and sleight of hand. On the other hand, you use images to draw attention. But in any case, in both cases, you have techniques that you pull out of the bag, but it's not enough. You have to have something extra as the designer or the magician. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the audience is king. So no matter how technically awesome a trick is, you still have to see how the audience reacts. And if the reaction is not good, you need to cut it out of your act. So you have to practice restraint, which is an important thing for designers to do as well. So if we manage to treat the topic with respect and show it in an interesting way and found the best way to use our tricks and use technology, we're in a good place to make it fun. But we actually have one more thing that we need from our users, and that is context. So we all see things very differently. For example, you see 6 is a number that comes after 5, but you can also say, oh, there's an infinity of numbers in between 5 and 6. So it all depends on the context in which you're looking at things. So we need to choose how to use things in context. That just went fast. We have to remember there's no black box of perfect design. So the biggest challenge of design is finding the best approach to check people in their context and interpret these results in a way that makes a really good design stand out. My personal goal is to develop the skills to do this, and I will have to step out of my personal context, which is all of these topics that are interesting for me, and try to really listen to people and keep an open mind about what they're saying. So that's me and my design inspirations in just under 7 minutes. And I hope we'll get to work a lot together, and I hope this was fun for you. I don't really promise cake when we meet.